All right. So, good evening. Tonight, it was requested that we talk about not just about I don't know, more about more on inviting. I lost my what am I trying to say? How to invite, where are we finding those names from? How to actually do that on Facebook or Instagram. So we're going to go through that today. And I was going to show my actual Facebook and Instagram. Then I started thinking that's a privacy thing since I put these on YouTube. So I decided maybe not to do that. But if we have further questions, maybe privately, I could send you a video of mine to show you, if you're not tech savvy and you're not sure where to find whatever I talk about tonight on Facebook. So there's just kind of a little preface there if something comes up and you're like, I don't even know where that is. Because I know when I started coaching, I literally I didn't know how to make a group page. I didn't know so many things. But also, if you are confused or you don't know anything about what we talk, it's going to be simple tonight. But I sometimes forget that I didn't know all of that stuff. So just know that you can also figure it out. You can ask questions, you can Google it. And a lot of times just playing around with each of the platforms, you'll learn, you'll just click on things and figure out what they do. So I did that a lot. I still do that, I feel like, with stories, and then they're updating and always changing. So anyway, okay, but so I am going to break this down between Facebook and Instagram, but pretty much it's going to be about the same. So tonight is not going to be so much about what we say in an invite. It's going to be straight up how I find people to invite, okay? And this is definitely going to change. If you saw the live video that I did several weeks ago, I don't know when that was, when I was in Hawaii, I did talk about transitioning from your warm market to your cold market. So this is actually going to be a lot of the same stuff, but just where you're going to find those names and stuff. But so starting on Facebook, because I know most of you guys, I think, are all more Facebook savvy. That's where I started too. And I didn't even have an Instagram. So if you hear all of this and you're stressed out already just to do Facebook, then don't worry about Instagram right now. It's okay. It will come. And so don't worry about it. But I am going to talk about both in case you're on both or you want to work both platforms. So as far as Facebook, and especially as far as being a newer coach and starting, go to your friends list. Right away, go to your friends list and go down that. And I feel like something was talking about that the other day. I don't know if it was a wake-up call or what, but they were talking about just go down that list of friends, and it almost jogs your memory of who you know. Even if you have a really small following, you probably still have at least 100 friends, right? On your Facebook. I know I had 180 or something. I had a really small following, but that's still 180 people that I can invite. So think of it that way. And when I first started, I went down that friends list, and it was oh yeah, this girl that I went to high school with a long time ago. Oh yeah, this girl that I knew in college. Oh yeah, my long lost cousin that I probably never actually talked to in person. All of those people are prime candidates to invite, because you never know who needs this. Like we talked about last week, you don't want to be the judge of who needs this, and you just want to plant the seed. So number one would be go down your friends list, and hopefully you know how to find that. But if you don't, let me know and I can tell you. But the other thing to go along with that friends list that I know I talked about in that live video, because we want to be always sending new friend requests, or on Instagram it'll be new followers. And so go down that friends list, pick people that you have 5 or more mutual friends with. And there's also a way to see that from most people. Most people have their friends list to where you can see it. Some people have it private, so obviously you won't be able to follow those people. But for instance, for me, when I started, I went down that friends list. I used just found so many mutual friends, from people that I went to high school with. So it ended up being their siblings and just all these other people that went to our high school together. things like that that maybe weren't in my grade or something. And I also went, my husband has 5 sisters. So I went to all of their pages and went down the row and sent friend requests to anyone that we had 5 or more mutual friends with. And it's kind of amazing. Like, you literally can build a network like that really quickly. And I know I mentioned this before, but I don't know what the rule is on Facebook anymore, because you can get blocked or like put in Facebook jail if you do too many of those or if you do them too quickly. So set a small goal to do that every day, and you will gradually be growing, because not everyone's going to accept your friend request, or some people will accept it and be like, who are you? Do I know you? And that can really be like a whole nother conversation about how to like calmly answer that and be like, it's totally fine. I'm not a creeper, just looking to connect with other women, something like that. And usually it's okay. People are actually more skeptical on Facebook than they are on Instagram. It's really funny. But anyway, that's a little side note. So do that every day. And I would say set a goal of sending 10. Okay. That'll take like a minute or two. It shouldn't even take that long, really. I probably sent more than that because I was trying to grow faster. But again, you don't want to also get blocked. So just set a small goal and something that you can keep up with every day. 10 would be great. Or send 10, and then before you go to bed, send 10 more, something like that. You can do it mindlessly. You don't have to do, you can look at their page, see if you sort of click with them or have anything in common. And sometimes that can help too, to find your people a little bit faster. So go down your friends list. The next one is that you can participate on Facebook. You can participate in groups. So this is one that I never really dove into because I did eventually transition into Instagram, but it can be really effective, especially if you're already in some kind of group. So Facebook has tons of interest groups. Like, I know I tried before, maybe like when my kids were in preschool, like preschool homeschool mom. Maybe your kid plays soccer, so maybe you can find like a soccer parent interest group or something. You can just search for these, and there's so many groups. They are a little bit more, I don't know what the word is, but like picky about rules about you can't invite, they probably picked up that MLM people were doing this. I don't know. But you can still be a part of that group, make genuine relationships with people, like ask actual questions that you're curious about, like I don't know, what brand of soccer cleats does your kids use? I don't know. That's a really dumb example. But anyways, you can kind of like connect in those groups and, like I said, be a real member in there. And then as you might just sort of like build relationships, maybe not deep relationships, but kind of like this, oh, I recognize that name. So, maybe you're commenting back and forth with somebody. So then send them a friend request and a message and just be like, hey, since we were talking in this group, I just thought I'll introduce myself. My name's Heidi. I'm a mom, whatever. Just say a couple things. And they'll probably just be really nice and be like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. And that's it at first. Okay. Always we want to start with just being a human, saying hi, nice to meet you, because what would we do in real life? Would we be like, hi, nice to meet you. Do you want to sign up for this thing that I'm doing? Like, you would never do that. And so, like, we have to treat social media the same way. And it's actually cool because I think it was yesterday, I sent somebody, and they were a new follower, and I sent them a friend request. Or, I sent them a new conversation, and I just said, hey, nice to meet you. Where are you from? And she's like, wow, what a concept. Like, she was like happy. She's like, someone actually wants to be social on social media. And I was like, yes, exactly. And so it was kind of a fun way to kick it off, because most people don't send those conversations. And I don't say anything about Beachbody when we first start. I just say, hey. And I like truly do want to get to know them, especially like if we have stuff in common. Like lately I'm really looking at homeschool people because I'm trying to learn all that myself. And so you can find things like that. Okay, I'm getting off topic a little bit, but groups on Facebook is another way to interact. And like that one could be a little more work, but especially if you're already in a group, that would be a really good place to find people, to send them a friend request if you're not already friends in there. And then from there, we'll talk about how to go into the invite. And then the other way, oh, I was going to skip that one. You can also run your own free group. So I always forget to talk about this, but I should, because I did this for the first 6 months as a coach. And I don't know, I feel like free groups aren't talked about as much anymore, but they can be really effective. So what I did, and mine was literally a free group, just like our challenge group is in our BOD group. It was just on Facebook. You can run it in the app. Like, you can run it in the app, and all you need is their email. They don't have to have, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think they might have to make an account, but they don't have to buy anything. So you would just need their email and you can add them to it. I think that's correct. It's all new now, but that's what I used to do. And then I had an email, and they were already in my account, so that if they ever ordered from Beachbody, they would be my customer. So anyways, I ran a free group, and like I said, I just put like motivational post, or, I was just myself, and I said, this is going to be really laid back and simple, and let's just all focus. And so they were allowed to do whatever workout they were doing, or maybe they were running or taking walks, and we were just going to talk about drinking water and eating vegetables and stuff like that. So I kept it so basic and simple, especially because that was also good practice for me to learn how to run a BOD group, which they weren't called BOD groups at the time. But anyways, so I did that, and I would invite to that free group just like I would my BOD group. And every month I would change the theme, and we would kind of focus on something different, just like we do in our challenge group. And so I would still send invites to that. I probably worked too hard on that, honestly. But again, that would be something really easy to go down your friends list and say, hey, I'm running this free group. It's like healthy for the holidays or something, and, or whatever maybe you want to start in January, and then, and just invite them, and they might say, okay, what's the details? And just say, like, it's really simple. I just want to encourage people, and let's all try to like be a little healthier during the holidays, something like that. And then, if they say yes, keep track of their name. And so while you're showing up in that free group, you're going to be doing your own BOD workouts, right? And you're going to be drinking your shake and following your nutrition plan. And you can share those things like it's your own group. And so, and it's, again, just like how you would share on your social media, this doesn't have to be a salesy thing. Like, it's working for you and you're doing it. So share it naturally with them. And some people like truly just want the free part, right? Or they might not show up or whatever. But that is how I got a lot of new people trickling in from doing that. And I think part of it was just that it helped me feel more natural about, and then inviting them to Beachbody, and sometimes too, you would be able to see like, some of them would like complain that they didn't have, they didn't like their workouts, or they weren't seeing results, or you could pick up on those little hints and then be like, well, let me tell you about what I'm doing because I'm seeing results or whatever. So obviously, hopefully that gives you an idea. If you decide to run a free group and you have more questions, like, please message me, but it can be so simple. And it's such a good way, like I said, to practice and to make it easier to lead into, an invite to actually join Beachbody. So that would be another way. And again, those are usually on Facebook, just because you can run those groups on Facebook. But you could, if you were also working Instagram, you could just run it all in the app. And I'm pretty sure they can just make an account, like I said, and you just need their email. Before we had the My Challenge Tracker app. It was so long, but that's how that worked. And I just got their email and they signed up like that. So that should be, it should be the same with the BOD group now, with the BOD app now. Anyway, okay, so then the rest of Facebook, and this will be the same as Instagram, is that we also want to invite from the names of the people watching our stories. So you can click, and this was one of those things I was going to show. You can raise your hand like if you don't know how to find, like, see the viewers who viewed your story. Totally fine if you don't, and like then I'll explain it. But if you know where to find that, you just click on that. And remember that your story will go away every 24 hours. So if you posted about your workout or posted about our group or the shake or something like that, I pick one of those stories that I shared on, and I click on the viewers. And then I will see if I've talked to that person before. Because if I haven't talked to them at all yet, then what am I going to do? I'm not going to invite them yet. I'm just going to say, hey, thanks for watching my story. It's nice to meet you. Where are you from? What do you do? Or, you can ask them if they work out or something too. But I typically don't even bring that up. I just say, hey, kind of like, hey, I noticed you, like, let's be friends. That's all, because I want to be a human being, and I don't just want to be icky and send them an invite when they don't even know me yet. So anyways, so if I haven't had that conversation, I'll send that. If I have talked to them, or maybe I've invited them before, then it's going to be a little bit different about what I say, right? And all of this, again, it's really just like natural common sense about where are we in our conversation, just like you would your friends in your text message or something like that. So there's so many ways I could go with this. So say you've had that new conversation, you've never invited them before, then that would be obviously different. It'd be like, depending on what your thing was. So this morning I sent some invites because on one of our team pages on Wednesdays, everybody wears pink and tags each other, and we talk about community. So I'm like, I don't even know what I said at this point. Whatever I say, don't quote it or write it down, but put in your own words, but I was just probably like, hey, thank you so much for watching. I'm not sure if you, like, a lot of times I'll say, I don't know if you already have a fitness routine, or would you like more information about our community and the virtual groups I run? There's so many different ways that you can word it. Especially think about like what attracted you to it, and what would you want to hear? What would you want to be invited to? And again, like I said, like, what are you also posting about? Maybe you're posting about coaching. So when I know that the coaching, which tonight was one, but it was like no one announced it until today. So the other coaching Zoom that's happening is on the 30th of this month. So kind of that weekend before, like maybe Thursday, Friday, I'll start talking about coaching. And then maybe I put a poll up, maybe not, but I will look at the viewers, and whoever viewed that I maybe haven't invited to this before, or I feel like would probably be good at this or want to learn more about it, then I'll say like, thanks so much for watching. I'm not sure if you were listening, had the sound on, but I was seeing if anyone wanted more information about coaching. Do you want to hop on this Zoom, or, something like that. So make sure that it relates to what you were talking about in the story. Now, a lot of times people, if you're talking, I mean, I do it too, they don't always listen. They just click through it. So, but it's also still okay to invite from that, because they at least watched it, right? And they at least showed up on your story for some reason. So one more thing that I want to say about the story views, is that sometimes you'll invite somebody, and either they won't answer or they'll say no, but they keep watching you. And so if they're like somebody, I mean, I have religious viewers that watch it as soon as I post it. I'm like, what? Put your phone down. But why are they watching it? There's some reason. And sometimes some people just truly love to watch stories, and some of them will say that. Some of them will ghost me, and some of them have literally never answered any of my messages, but I'm still messaging them because I care about them, because they're watching my story every day for some reason. There has to be a reason, right? So, and you don't want to just draw that out, but you can send them an invite. If they're watching your story every day, at least once a month, be like, hey, just want you to know, I still care about you and you're still invited. Maybe now is a better season for you. Do you want to just check out some information and see? Or, you know, now we have the job one sample. You could just say that. So for those people who continue to watch and continue to say no, I still invite them, because a lot of people have signed up that way. And I know the statistics that Jessica shared, I don't know if it was last week or the week before. Oh yeah, it was last Monday, because I was going to talk about follow-ups. But I don't even remember the numbers, but it's like, you know, how many times do people have to be asked or to be like explain something to them? I don't even know what the number was, but then say, you know, maybe they are interested, but they'll still say no, almost just like as a natural reaction, like several times before they're ready. So, so don't discount those viewers that are watching so much. Sometimes I'm actually in a season of it being really frustrating, because it's like, some of you just need to commit here, you know, and a lot of times it's just something deeper in their heart that they need to work through before they're ready. But okay, that was a little tangent there. But okay, the other way to find names is from the comments and the likes on your posts. So again, if you're not sure how to look at those numbers, but it's pretty easy. It'll tell you like 21 likes. You can click the 21 and it'll give you the list of names. And the, you know, obviously, excuse me, you can see the comments. So it's really going to be the same thing as I just explained for stories. If you haven't talked to them yet, say thank you so much for the support, or thank you so much for the love on my post. And you can put a little description, like if it's my transformation post. Sometimes on transformation posts, I just straight up invite them, because it's pretty much like a call to action right there. But otherwise, you know, thank you so much for my homeschool post the other day. Nice to meet you. Where are you from? I literally say the same thing every time, because most people are like, oh, I'm from whatever. And it's just an easy way. It's a simple question that most people have posted in their bio anyway. So it's not like a scary question to ask, you know, and not, I mean, it's personal, but not super personal. So the same thing, when they're watching your posts like that, don't discount them. Okay, so what I wanted to say, that I said this when we did that live video about the warm market to cold market, is that, like I said, when you get a new friend and you send them that new conversation, you can name it whatever you want. That's just what I call it, because it's literally starting a new conversation. So once I do that, I put them in Asana, and I'm going to show you Asana actually. Should I go ahead and do it? Yeah, I'll just go ahead and do it. Let me see. Let me see if I can multitask and talk at the same time. Probably not. So once I invite them, okay, hang on. Okay, can you see that? I put them into Asana, and this is actually, this is still like everyone's name. Look, Sybil's there. So this is also an app on my phone, and that's actually where I use it. I hardly ever use a computer, but it's still here and it syncs. So, okay, so once I invite them, click. I don't know why that's not adding. Okay, well, I don't know why that's happening, but I click add task, and then I would type their name right there, and then I put the due date. Let me just pretend this is it. Okay, so like Hannah Rose, I don't know. And then, so whatever today's date is, now I have to move the thing. I just go down 2 weeks, and then it's set, and I think you have to click set too. Now I'm gonna be like, who's Hannah Rose when that comes up. But anyways, this is Asana. It's just asana.com. It's free, and then you can download the app, and then you log in, and you have all this here. And I've done a call, like if you want me to tag you in that, I've done a whole call on everything that I use this for, so I don't want to get off track here. But I just wanted to kind of quickly show you that. Now what happened? So anyway, hang on, you guys. I seriously cannot multitask. Okay, so all of that was to say that when you send that new conversation, you introduce yourself, and they answer back. I guess that was the key. If they don't answer back, I don't waste my time writing their name down. unless they start, if they start watching my stories or liking my posts, then I know they will get an invite. But otherwise, a lot of times maybe they don't go to your posts or your stories, but I still have that invite in there. And a lot of times they will say yes, they would like more information. So it's kind of interesting. But it's also very obvious when you like say on Instagram and you see my whole grid, it's really obvious what I'm into, right? I have tons of workout pictures and whatever. And so you of course want to start building that to back up your business, to back up your mission, to back up what you're doing. Same with your stories. Like if you need names to invite off your stories, then you want to make sure that you have some stories up there, right? So like, remember last week's call, if a lot of this is stressing you out, to start those baby steps. Don't worry about it if you're not in all of these areas yet. So just like remember this, and then you can go back to this call once you're ready. But that's just where you're going to find those names. So, and I'm like, I feel like I've been talking so much. It's getting late. So Instagram is going to be the same. Instead of friend request, you're going to send follow requests, right? And Instagram, I know, or this used to be a rule. So I follow 50 a day. And then if I have time or think about it, I'll do another time or so during the day. But I try not to do more than 50 because I don't want to get blocked. And I don't know what the number is, so I don't want to risk it. Not all those people follow you back. Sometimes I get like 5 follow backs, something, 5 or 10. But whoever follows me back, I send them that new conversation. If they reply, then I put their name in Asana and I write invite. Oh, that's what I didn't say. And then set that for 2 weeks. Okay, so they have time to go look at my page if they want. Let me see what Sybil said. What should go in a story and what should go in a post? Okay, I'll answer that in a second. And that could be like a whole nother call, but I want to answer it for you too. So 1 second. And then, so one more thing that you could put on stories to get maybe some engagement or some like an actual, when we say call to action, it's where we directly say, do you want information, or drop an emoji if you want to be in this group or whatever. We're calling them to an action to get information or to sign up or whatever. So you can also put polls on your stories. Do you want to try this sample workout? Yes or no? Things like that. And I will say that most people, my followers, don't answer the polls. It's really funny, but I know myself, and you usually kind of attract a person like you. And for myself, I would probably have never clicked on people's polls either, because I would be wanting to hide and pretend like they didn't see me. So even if they didn't answer the poll, I'll still invite everybody who watched the poll story, and I'll be like, oh, I'm not sure if you clicked this or not, but did you want information? And then sometimes they'll think that they did, or sometimes it's an accident. I'll be like, it's a sign. And they'll be like, well, I didn't mean to, but I actually will take information. So you never know. And it really is just like, people are scared. It's so funny. Anyway, so that's another way to find names and to get those invites going. So, okay, I have like a little bit more, but I really want to just answer Sybil's question because I have like a little bit of time left. So she asked what should go in a story and what should go in a post. I'll explain that, but kind of maybe better advice would be to watch some maybe more seasoned coaches. And you can watch me, but you can go follow other people too, to kind of see the difference. Well, a lot of coaches have their own style too of posting. So some people like to write a novel and it's like, all these things they're learning or talking about mindset shift or adding value. So a post is more about almost like what's on your mind or what you've been learning and kind of, wording that almost like a blog. It doesn't always need to be super long. A lot of times mine become long because I'm like thinking of all these things. But you'll see like some coaches are just such good writers. I feel like I still struggle with that, and it's been something that has slowly grown and developed. Especially when I first started, man, I just really struggle with it because some of us just like aren't writers or it's not our style. But then there's some coaches that they're kind of funny, or they just, put a spin on things, or they turn everything into something super motivational, which like that's just a gift if you can do that, I feel like. So that's kind of more of what a post would be. And then the story is more of just like quick, like day-to-day life, showing your workout videos, showing your shake, showing that you're headed to work and maybe you packed your lunch. It's just sort of like little clips from your day. And to me, the stories are more about showing your personality, building trust. I feel like people probably know me because they just like hear me talk my story a little bit. I don't even feel like I share that much. A lot of times I like forget about it during the day. Today I went on there and was like talking about how irritated I was with Rory today because he's driving me nuts. But those are the little things that actually get people to connect with you because they're like, oh yeah, me too, or, whatever. So does that make sense, or did I just ramble? Okay. Stories are like living your life with them. Yeah. Yeah. So just like those little things, it could have nothing to do with Beachbody, and that's almost better. Like you want to put your Beachbody in there, but you don't want that to be all that you have, which like I think I've mentioned that slowly grew for me. At first, I only put my workout videos, and that's okay. Like if that's where you're at, keep doing that. Don't do stories because you can't think what else. But the more that I started kind of committing to doing it, I started getting excited and like, oh, that would be really funny to put on my story, or oh, this is a good idea, or oh, like I make these really easy pancakes for the kids all the time. Put a boomerang on it and say, do you want the recipe, or just put what you're cooking or whatever. So yeah, stories are more like that. And then the post, and like I said, it might help to go just like find a few coaches. I don't even know who to really give as examples, but even just some of like go into Dare to Dream and just pick several different coaches and go look at their profiles. And not everybody is like a pro in there. Like there's all ranges of new. So, but still, whatever, you could see different styles. You can see like the seasoned coaches are going to be posting every day and they're going to have something amazing to say. And sometimes that gets hard. And then every month I always put like posting ideas, and you could go down those and read through some of those and see if you have, if that helps you with coming up with something. So hopefully that helps. But it does, if you have the time and you're ready to add all of that together, it does help to have both. Because I have people who watch my stories and never see my posts, and I have people who see my posts and don't watch stories. So it definitely broadens who gets to see that and different sides of you, like that. So, and it's, yeah, okay. Does that help? Okay, perfect. Let me just, I have like, we're going to be a little bit over, but I just want to make sure that I hit everything because I had one other thing. So another thing that I wanted to mention really quick is that, obviously you can post about things that are not Beachbody, or you can, flip it into something motivational. One year, the year that we were moving back to Washington, we were literally leaving and I got like severe poison ivy. It was so bad. And I posted about it. I don't even know what I said, but we're moving. And I mean, my face, I looked disfigured. Like it was horrible. Emily knows. It was so bad. I was so miserable. So whatever I posted, I don't remember, but it was like my scary, ugly face. Like you guys, it didn't look like me. I literally posted that for the likes and the comments. So, and there was some video a long time ago that I heard it, and she's like, I dyed my hair pink just for the likes to find other people who like pink hair. Like, you don't have to do that, but do it for the likes sometimes, or maybe it's just something hilarious. or you had a horrible day with your kids. Like, be honest with that. But anyways, so I posted about the poison ivy, and I mean, I had so many likes and comments. I should go back and look at it. And then in the car, like, we literally were driving out here to move, and in the car, I sent everybody a message. And a lot of them were people that I had probably invited a year ago or 2 years ago, and I hadn't talked to them again. I hadn't seen their name again. But a post like that gets all these people out of the woodwork that don't maybe click like on your workout post. And so I struck up a conversation with them, wrote their name down, and I invited them the next week. So you can also use those non-Beachbody posts to start a conversation. Like, again, you might not say, like, come to Beachbody right away, but it can help you strike up a conversation. So, okay, that is all, and I'm going to be kicked off of here. And we lost Colette, so I'm just not going to take a picture, but hopefully that helped. Let me know if you have any other questions, and talk to you later. Good night.